interesting question to ask yourself, okay? Because at some point, you will find yourself with multiple products that you're selling on Amazon, and this question will absolutely cross your mind. And the question is this: how much profit is enough to consider it a sustainable product? How much profit is enough to consider it a sustainable product? Very, very good question. So, my take on products and my philosophy on products comes primarily from Warren Buffett, and therefore comes from a guy called Ben Graham. And you should go and get Ben's book, all about stock market investing, because it's, if you substitute the word stock for the word Amazon product, it will be an enlightening book to read. Just as you're going through it, instead of reading the word stock or bond, just read Amazon product, and it will be a very interesting book to read that will really open your mind up about how to think about these Amazon products as individual business units. Very interesting to do. Anyway, so I treat my products kind of like I would shares in a company, okay? So I've got a certain amount of money I can invest in my products to buy stock and advertising for them. And what I'm looking to do is to maximize the ROI, the return on investment, for the money I invest in that given product. That's what I'm looking to do. That's what we're all looking to do, okay? Probably when you're first getting started, your primary focus is in making your first sale, but I promise you, very, very quickly, you'll get to the, okay, now I'm making sales, how can I maximize the amount of money I'm making? You'll get to that point very quickly. And one of the reasons I love business is because I don't think anyway, there's no better way to systematically increase your wealth than through a business, because it's not at all uncommon to take a $1,000 investment in stock and 2 months later to have sold all that stock and doubled your money, for instance, okay? And if you do that over a year, then clearly you've got a very, very high ROI on your initial money that you're investing into your stock. And you just can't get that anywhere else, not systematically at scale anyway. So for me, business is the best way to build large wealth, and the best way to think about the business and the products we sell is as individual stock holdings, because we all kind of get the idea of stock investing. We all kind of get that understanding. So it makes it a good framework to think about things, okay? So how do I do that? Well, I look at the amount of money that you invest in a stock, for your product. So how much money you're giving to your supplier, for instance. You also want to factor in the amount of money it will cost you to market that product effectively, to make sales on Amazon or wherever it is you're selling on Amazon. So Amazon PPC, Facebook ads, Google advertising, things like that. So you want to take that into consideration as well. And what I do is I do that for each of the products I sell, and I treat them as little separate businesses within my greater Amazon business. So I do that for all of them, and you'll quickly see, just as I do, that some of your products massively outperform and some of your products massively underperform, okay? So if I think about my overall business, I typically make in my business, depending on the time of year, but on average it's about 32%. So if I sell $1,000 worth of stuff on Amazon, out of that my gross profit tends to be around about $320, okay? And as an easy way to think about it. But that's across all the products I sell, and I sell shitloads of products. So clearly, because that's an average, some of the products I sell, only for every $1,000 I make in sales, I only make $100, and others, for every $1,000 I make in sales, I make $500, for instance. So 50% ROI versus 10% ROI. So I take that into consideration as well, Brad. And then the other thing that I think is not really looked at very often, and if you've read Ben Graham's book, you'll remember the last few puffs on the cigar analogy that he kind of speaks about within the book. And it's the same for your Amazon products. Whereabouts are they in their own unique market cycle? Are they at the top of their market? Is that a mature market where most of the easy money's already been made, most of the fast money's been made, where you've got a lot of new competitors coming in, or are they bottom of their marketplace and they're just on the way up? So you kind of have to take that into consideration as well. Think a bit like Amazon. Like Amazon in the last 3 months, I own Amazon stock. In the last 3 months, that stock price has gone up a lot, for a common stock anyway. It's gone up a lot. Versus Boeing, for instance, which has gone down a lot. And so you've got to separate them out, Brad, and think about each of your products as a separate standalone business, and then ask yourself, would you buy stock in that business? And that's, I think, for you, knowing how your brain kind of works around these things, you've got a really good financial numbers brain. I think that will really help you think about your products in a different way. Lots and lots in that. I'm not quite sure I actually gave you a decent answer. And as always, it's going to kind of depend on where they are in their cycle and stuff like that. But at least I hope that's given you some interesting things to think about, and an interesting way to think about your Amazon products and how you sell them. There is no one size fits all. You've got to kind of take it as a holistic approach, not just what the product is doing, but what the market overall is doing, because you may have a product that's doing, like for instance, we've just had one that's doing 30, I can't remember the exact, let's just say it's 30% ROI. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's around that, 35%. But the click costs month on month have doubled. And so it doesn't take a genius to work out that if that happens next month, then the ROI will be decimated for that particular product. So we're saying now, once we sell out, we're out of that market, we're on to the next thing. So you have to kind of take it holistically, Brad. There is no kind of one size fits all, which kind of sucks, I know. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.